What's going on, real estate gold diggers? I'm hoping all is well and everybody is having a good day. This is Chris Brown, real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. We're going to go ahead and get things started here. So what I wanted to come to you guys with was a little bit of information. It's been a little bit since we've last kind of communicated, but I wanted to bring you 6 tips for real estate investors, 6 helpful tips for real estate investors that are just beginning and just getting involved. So let me pull this information. Aha, there I am. So, hey, what's going on? This is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur, reaching out to all my gold diggers that are out there, real estate gold diggers that are out there making things happen, building generational wealth. I want to make sure that you guys are aware that we are going to have an upcoming real estate gold digger 30-day challenge. It's going to be the spring 30-day challenge that is actually going to start on April 29th. That is a Thursday. It's going to be Thursday evening about 7:30. And we're going to go ahead and I'm going to share with you guys the business. If you guys are looking to build generational wealth with real estate, I'm going to show you guys some things that I've learned over a course of 30 days and challenging you guys to actually take action and establish your real estate business. So, and this is actually going to be a free 30-day challenge. You do have to register for it, so it won't just be pushed out there. You do have to register for it. So I'll make sure that the information is in the link or the bio below. Make sure that you guys click on that, share that information. Be sure to share that information with other people that may be interested in real estate. I am sharing this. This is information that I've learned, information that I've spent thousands of dollars on, and looking to share this information. So each one teach one, and that's a little process that I'm going through. I want to be able to help over 1,000 people in that world and just understanding the real estate business and actually get some transactions done. Let's start building some generational wealth. So 6 tips. So tip number 1 that I wanted to share with everybody is knowing your costs when you're getting involved. This is a huge thing where you have the new investors where they're getting involved with transactions and they don't know the cost that's involved. And that's one of the reasons why to a lot of beginner investors, hey, you're going to get a lot of information from me, but I would suggest that you perhaps work with someone or a mentor or something like that to get you through your first couple of transactions. And reason being is because cost is one of the big things. There's an unpredictable cost that does occur that a lot of people are not aware of. Things happen, especially if you have to go behind the walls or dig something out, pull something out. You never know what is behind those walls. You never know what's underneath the flooring. There's a lot of different things that happen that you just don't know. It's going to happen. So you always have to be flexible with the cost. So if you have a particular budget, especially if it's your first time, I say go over 20%, mark it up 20% at least. Keep in mind that there's holding costs. A lot of people get stiffed with that. Holding costs, there's utilities that a home has, there's taxes. The longer that you have the property, the more taxes that you're gonna have to pay. Utilities, that means that you have to keep the lights on, the water on. If you got people there working, you're gonna need that on. And then a big one, the grass. If you got a big project in, especially where I'm at, I'm in the Tampa Bay area. So if you're doing a project during the summer months, it rains every day. So you can get your grass cut on a Thursday, and by like Monday, Tuesday, you need to have it cut again. Usually you can tell, you can't even tell it was freshly cut less than a week ago. So keep that in mind. So if you got a project that's going on for a couple of months, that's a cost a lot of people don't even think of. And if you don't take care of it, what will happen is, one, if you're in a community with the HOA, you're going to get a fine or some type of penalty. 2, you're going to get the neighbors a little discouraged, and they may call the city or somebody on you just saying that, hey, this person has overgrown grass and so forth. And what has happened in the past is that I've seen people get, neglect the lawn, the neighbors call, and the city shows up, because a lot of times those city workers are typically in the neighborhood a lot doing something. And the neighbors call, and the next thing you know, they were doing something in the house that needed permits. And then the city sees it, and then they get red flag. Trust me, go ahead and pay somebody $80, $100 a month just to make sure that they come by the property a couple of times a month, trimming the grass, edging things out. Keep that cost in mind. And if you're on your P's and Q's, you'll make sure that you're in and out, ideally 30, no more than 60 days. If you're doing more than 60 days, that must be a pretty big project. So keep that in mind. Woo, got the Yannis. So tip number 2, selecting the property type. Know what kind of property that you're going to pick. Some people are, like when I'm screening investors, they don't realize that I'm screening them, but potential people who want to invest, I try to get an idea of what their risk level is. Ideally, I like people to get their first property to be a buy and hold, so that way they can experience some type of income, positive income coming in on a regular basis. And with that, then graduate, to maybe flipping a property if they're planning on doing it by themselves. Some people are very independent. I do have people that join me on different ventures, so to speak. And with that being joint venture partners, they join me on a particular venture, and that's the end of our relationship, just with that particular venture. And they may not have a lot of experience, but they want to be able to flip a property and want to work with someone who actually has a bit more experience to make sure that they're successful with their first one. And it gives them a chance to learn the ropes too. Some of the chips, because I'm gonna share it. Especially if I'm working with someone, I want that project to be successful, and then ultimately, I want them to be successful as well, because they're going to go off and probably do a couple of projects on their own, because they're going to learn a lot from the first couple of projects that you do with someone else. You're going to learn a lot, and it's anticipated for you to learn a lot. If you don't learn a lot, then you're not really looking to do projects on your own. You're really looking to partner with someone where you may just be the money person. So a lot of people do that. So there's nothing wrong with that at all. But you do want to kind of know what's going on, or understand the mindset of that individual that you may be partnering with. So you don't want to get someone who takes a lot of risk, so to speak, or is pretty sloppy in their business. Because if you plan on investing in that, then you want to make sure that your investment's kind of secured in a sense. So keep that in mind. Another thing, buying. So that would be if you're going to be a buy and hold person, if you're going to be a buy and flip person, and that's on the residential side. And then also if you're doing residential or commercial. So make sure that you understand the type of property that you're looking to invest in. Tip number 3, checking out the area where your investment is going to be. On the residential side, I tell a lot of people, you want to make sure that you understand the market. And that's where sometimes you would work with a local real estate professional that may have a better idea of the market. And also keep in mind, they just may know some odds and ends about that particular market that you may not be aware of, especially if it's a market that you haven't done any transactions in and you're not very familiar with. Having that local person, you're going to be able to absorb a lot of knowledge. And it's not necessarily that they're just going to be giving it out to you. You're going to have to ask the right questions, and that individual will know those answers, or they'll know where to get those answers from. Or ideally, you may not. Like small things like, hey, there's going to be a school that's going to be built 2 blocks away from here. That was some knowledge that I had with a particular project, that a lot of people were passing on this investment opportunity, but they didn't realize that it was actually less than 2 blocks, that a brand new high school was being built. So with the brand new high school, that means that the schools in the area, a lot of people are going to want to live in that area because they want to have their kids go to a new school, go to the newer school that's going to have the better teachers, the better books, better resources, brand new sports fields and all that good stuff. Everything was new there. So a lot of people missed out on that, and that wasn't even in their calculation. They were just like, oh, we'll just pass on this. But when I spoke with one particular investor, he was just like, really? He was like, how did you know that? I was just like, I'm familiar with the area. So to me, it was nothing, but to them, it was just like, it was the world. Um, so keep that in mind. Make sure you know the area. A lot of times I tell people, if you're buying and flipping, ideally you want to be in a good school district. You know, those are the ones that typically have the higher success levels. Whereas if you're in a good school district, not only will you attract the local community, but you'll also attract buyers that are not even from the area. And with buyers not being from the area, if they have family, especially if you're buying a home, part of my other criteria. If you guys want to learn a little bit more about certain criteria about buying and flipping homes, I'll teach you guys some tips and tricks that I've learned. Like I said, the Real Estate Gold Digger Spring 30-Day Challenge is coming up. That will be April 29th. I'll make sure that that link is in this information. So be sure to link on to that. But that's one of the things I teach them. It's like, hey, if you are, for your first time, if you buy in a community where the school district is good, A-rated, B+, a preferred school district, and what happens is when people are local, they know that the schools are good in that particular area. When they're not local, one of the things that they do is they look up schools. They'll look at homes that may fall in their price range, but number one question, how are the schools there? Because they got the kids there. They got, the kids are like, hey, how are the schools? What kind of education? If we're going to be living there for the next 5-10 years, they're thinking longevity, especially if they have toddlers, teenagers. They're looking at the middle schools, the high schools, how far away the schools are. Are there other options? So keep that in mind. Know the area, and that'll help you out in understanding what type of clients that you'll be attracting as well. Protect yourself. So if you're going to be doing this, you're going to be doing this as a business. A lot of people invest with an entity or some type of vehicle that will allow them to remove their name. So in protecting yourself, this is an asset. When you start talking about homes, ideally homes are 100,000, 200,000, 300,000. After you buy a few homes, you're racking up $500,000, close to $1 million in real estate. And you want to protect that asset. Ideally, like I said, if you're building generational wealth, you're protecting, this is your golden egg, for your family, rainy day type thing. Things happen. You're not only building wealth for yourself, but you're also building wealth for the little ones as well. So if you want to make sure that continues, and then in doing so, you have to learn different ways of protecting yourself. So like I said, that is like placing it into another entity of some kind. Be sure to join one of the perks of the upcoming Real Estate Gold Digger 30-Day Challenge is that we have, there's going to be some information that's going to be shared with a real estate attorney. Real estate attorney speaking in reference to the different vehicles that could be utilized to help protect your assets. So keep that in mind. And tip number 5, deciding your terms. So once you have a property, if you're doing, say, a buy and hold, you have a buy and hold property that you have, and you kind of want to know what the terms are going to be. If you're holding on to it, what are you going to be renting it for? What are you going to be paying the property management for? Like I said, now, the 30-day challenge, you'll learn a lot. So if you, like I said, if you're a beginning person, and even if you've been involved, it's going to be a lot of nuggets that I'll be giving out throughout the whole process. If you are buying and holding on to a property, and you want to do this as a business, one of the things that you do not want to do is be the actual landlord, where you're actually taking those calls, fixing toilets, and all kinds of craziness. So, and trust me, because I've been there and done that. And I learned quickly. And I've actually been the property management company. I used to have a property management company. So I used to handle a few dozen homes by myself. Some of the work I did and some of the work I didn't do. A lot of times I didn't do the work, especially if it was a project that was going to take a few days. But if it was something simple, I would kind of help out the owner. Like if I knew it was like I used to get it all the time with the AC issues because people don't change out the filters, don't clean the line. So I always had my shop vac, vinegar, and sucking out the lines and stuff. And that's typically what it was. It wasn't. But if I had to call the AC guy, that was going to cost a couple $100 for them to come out, test the unit, see what's going on, and it end up being just that the person didn't change the filters and it was clogged and it was backed up and water was being collected and it was not allowing it to turn on. So that would cost them a couple $100 just for the AC guy to come out. So I would go out there for courtesy, but I'll make sure I documented it. I made sure it was documented so that they knew what, the value that I brought to the table. That was just one of the things I did. But keep that in mind. Understand the terms that you're going to have, especially if you're going to be buying and holding. Understand if you're going to have the landlord that's going to be taking care of a lot of the issues that are going on. So keep that in mind. And also having property management in place, they'll take a lot of things off your hands that you would traditionally have to deal with. So be sure to do that. Understand your terms. Tip number 6. Buy property with growth in mind. Buying property with growth in mind or profit in mind. And what I mean is, like, you want to buy a property, especially if it's a buy and hold. You want to buy a property, whatever your mortgage is, you want to be able to rent that property for more than what your mortgage is. So if you're looking at a property, then you need to understand, what does that specific property rent for? If it has 4 bedrooms, 2 baths, 1,700 square feet. Look it up, and I'll keep bringing it up. But the Real Estate Gold Digger 30-day challenge that we're going to be doing on April 29th, there's a module in there that during that 30-day process where I will tell you how to understand how to understand what the rental rates are for a specific property or property type. So be sure to tune into that. But you want to understand what the property will rent for before you get it under a mortgage. But traditionally, when you're getting a mortgage, if you're mortgaging the property and getting some type of financing, you already know what your payments are going to be. And the reason I say that is because you're going to get pre-qualified. And they're going to say, okay, well, you can buy it for $200,000. So if you bought a house for $200,000 and your mortgage payment is, with the rates being low, $1,200 a month. If you're only paying $1,200 a month, then you would want to be able to rent that house out for more than $1,200 a month. Ideally, you want to see if you maybe get, but if the local rental rates are like $1,600, then you're winning. You're winning by $400 a month. And that is a big thing, especially in my area. I'm in the Tampa Bay area. The rental rates are kind of high. So it really forces people into saying, why would I rent when I could just go ahead and buy? It'd be mine and I'm paying less. Makes you want to get your credit together if it's not together. So that was a big deal. Then, so keep that in mind. You want to have growth and profits in mind. If you're doing buy and holds, if you're doing buy and flips, making sure that the amount that you buy it for, plus the repairs, holding costs, and marketing costs, because you're going to have to put it on the market to get it sold. Make sure that that is less than what you're able to sell it for, because you want to make a profit. And then you may want to know what your profit margins are. I have some people that say, hey, I don't want to do a buy and flip if I can't make 30,000 or more. And 30,000 is on the low end. So that was their thing. They're saying, hey, if I'm going to pay 200,000 for a house, I want to be able to profit 30,000. So whatever those numbers are, you got to work them out. The house, if you're paying 200 for it, then that house better be worth, and you have to put in, 20,000 into it. So that puts you at 220 plus marketing costs. So then that pushes you up to about 236, maybe, working the numbers. So you want to be able to sell a house maybe for 260, 270, in that range. I'm just giving you round numbers right now, but just keep that in mind. So understand and have a profit in mind. So I do have a bonus tip. So that was 6. I promised you 6, but I'm gonna give you a bonus one as well. So something that you want to do is that you want to build a team. And what I mean by building a team is having a team that is supportive of your business and that you will be able to reach out to when you're doing transactions. Team members, particularly maybe a property manager, a real estate agent if you're not one yourself, or if you're going into a market that you're not familiar with, get a local real estate professional to help you out. Mortgage broker, because if you're flipping, you want to probably pre-screen buyers. Real estate attorney, yeah, definitely. Real estate attorney, contractors. Those are some people that you want to have established or have established relationships with. And if you don't have them in the beginning, you want to put that as a focus. You know, that's where you may work. That's another reason why you may work with a mentor, is because they already have those relationships established. So you can go ahead and utilize the same resources, or you can be like, okay, let me see what they're doing. What makes this person unique and different? How much are they charging? So then you can start interviewing people that do the same work, and you already have a reference point. So if they're trying to give you some high numbers and be like, hey, you know, I got a guy that's already doing perfect numbers. I mean, if you can't beat that, you know, what makes you so different? And if they are higher, ask them why. And, you know, but you also got to understand the value that you bring when you're building those relationships as a team, because you're not going to be the typical, I guess, homeowner, because your typical homeowner will have purchased one home, say purchase a home and live in it maybe 7 years, 10 years. As a real estate investor, you are going to probably have, say, 4 transactions, maybe in the early parts of your real estate investing career. You'll have only 4 transactions a year. But as you get more and more fluent and your systems are established, you can get up to be doing 12 properties a year. And if that is the case, then you're going to be looking at it like, hey, I'm not your traditional owner. I do multiple properties per year. And I'm looking to work with some people that are responsible, that are professional, that do great work, but understand that, hey, you're going to make money with me because not only I'm doing this as a business where I'm going to be doing multiple transactions per year. It's not just one time. A lot of times when you can have that conversation with contractors, many of them will understand, but they also going to kind of put you to the test too. So, you know, they may give you a discounted rate, but what you do is, and you keep interviewing people. You'll also learn this process as well through the 30-day challenge. Things that you need to do, how many different contractors that you need to have of the same trade. Things happen, people get busy, and things happen. That's all I can say. But hey, make sure that you guys tune in. But I just wanted to give you those 6 tips to real estate gold diggers. Like I said, guys, I want to get you guys a bit more involved. You know, let's get some more people involved at this upcoming 30-day challenge starting April 29th. 30 days of not only me giving you the sauce, giving you the ingredients to the secret sauce, but also helping you and motivating you guys to get your business started and telling you the elements that you guys need to get established. So keep that in mind. But this is Chris Brown, your real estate professional and marketing entrepreneur. Just giving some nuggets, 6 tips to help beginning investors be successful in the real estate investing world. So, hey, tune in. Make sure that you guys get signed up. That link should be in the bottom of this description. I'll make sure that it's there ASAP. But make sure that you guys tune in to that. That is April 29th, big event. Great things happening. That will be a Thursday evening, 2021. All right. You guys take care.